Thank you, Dean. Let's switch to the metrics. Peter asks, what are some of the financial metrics that subscription-based companies should track?
Well, we have something. If you Google 3 metrics, Zuora, we have a bunch of material on this. What we start with is, look, let's certainly there's cost of customer acquisition, there's lifetime value, there's all these different things. But to relate it back to a traditional income statement, right? If you Google 3 metrics, Zuora, you find this eventually. But the traditional income statement basically is a cost accounting exercise where you say, gosh, I sold $100 of revenue, and on a unit economic basis, where did that $100 land, right? How much of it was sales and marketing? How much of it was capitalized and depreciated, right? And how much of it was R&D? How much of it was cost of goods sold, right? And so let me look at it that way. Well, we construct something a little different, which is a recurring revenue income statement, where we start with the ARR value, the annual recurring value of the customer base, right? So this is where the Netflix example, 70 million subscribers, $100, that's $7 billion of revenue a year. And that's predictable revenue, because you have historical churn characteristics. So if you know that 10, 15, 5, whatever percent of your customer will churn, well, you can take that haircut and you say, gosh, instead of 70 billion, it's really 62 billion or 61 billion, whatever it happens to be, right? Or 6.1 billion. And then you say, okay, how much of that am I spending in R&D? How much of that am I spending in COGS? And how much of that am I spending in sales, in general, in G&A, right? And that's your overhead to maintain those customers. And then the rest of it, you say, well, gosh, do I pay that as a dividend back to my customers, to my investors? Or do I say, I'm going to use some percent of that to drive acquiring future customers, right? And what is the efficiency that I'm willing to pay? Am I willing to pay $3 to acquire $1 recurring revenue because I know my customers stay with me for 9 years or 10 years, and I'm easily going to recoup that investment, right? Or am I really just willing to pay $1 to acquire $1 of customers because I know, my lifetime of that customer is only about 2 to 3 years, right? And you can do those type of financial calculations. And so that's a starting point to rethink about the investment models. Instead of saying we're going to invest $10 million of R&D to create a hit product that maybe or maybe will not pay it back depending on how many units I sell. The starting point is how many customers do I have? How much stable, recurring, predictable revenue do I have? And then how do I want to reinvest that recurring revenue to optimize growth for what I'm doing?
That's a real fundamental shift for incumbents, isn't it? Profitability would be a long time coming for the whole portfolio of their products.
And so that's why instead of looking at overall profitability, the telcos have a concept called EBITDA CAC, which is before interest, taxes, and customer acquisition costs. And so we look at an income statement. When we look at a recurring company's income statement, a recurring revenue company, we'll look at what is their revenues, what is their profitability before sales and marketing, because recognizing that sales and marketing acts more like a traditional CapEx, right? You're acquiring revenue that you're going to receive over time. Right, and so we look at the profitability, the margin before sales and marketing, and then we look at the efficiency of that sales and marketing, general sense of how well that recurring revenue company is being managed.